She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
Welcome to the Twin Peaks podcast.
Damn good coffee. And hot. Would everyone please take a seat?
Welcome, everyone, to episode 19 of the Twin Peaks podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Melanie.
I'm Brad.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Jonas.
Yay, Jonas!
Hey, Jonas. So you're a fan off the Facebook group.
Oh yeah, I've been listening on podcasts since the beginning, and it's nice to hear this discussion since I haven't been able to really discuss the show at all with anyone. So yeah, it's really cool. I discovered it really late, so that's why.
Yeah, us too, just last year, me and Mel.
Oh yeah.
Wish I had discovered it sooner.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Brad, you got a description of this episode?
Yes, I do.
Oh, is it a good one?
Well, it's interesting. It's Season 2, Episode 11, Masked Ball. Sheriff Truman defends Agin, and by Agin I mean A-G-E-N, Cooper's activities at One-Eyed Jack's, which are under investigation.
I thought you meant it was like aging Cooper.
Yeah, which not only is it incorrect, because that doesn't really happen in this episode, Asian Cooper.
I get a feeling that these guys just randomly guess what's gonna happen and just gonna write something down.
That's quite possible.
Should we get people's thoughts of this episode off the bat, or should
Really?
we just overall thoughts, or should we wait till the end?
I don't know. Do you have any visceral comments you just gotta blurt out right now?
Well, I kind of think this episode is trying to restart the mystery part of the show, which kind of got a bit lost after the big revelation, and I can appreciate that because it's a couple of promising threads. So yeah, I liked it.
I think that overall, I still like this episode, but I feel like this episode, I know there's the warning that we keep getting, it's about to get really bad. I don't know if this is about to be the beginning, but I feel like, and we'll talk about that later, but I feel like they've definitely warned us. The warning signs are there, but I still had fun this time.
That's pretty much how I feel too.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was just a really light episode, but still enjoyable.
A lot of comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
Or attempts at comedy.
You know, we warn people that it's gonna get bad, but it is still enjoyable. There's still bits and pieces that are very enjoyable.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I had to, complain about is that every time something's about to get a bit serious, they cut to something more lightful and, lighthearted.
Yeah.
But otherwise it's a great episode, so. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the episode. It opens up with the shot of, everyone's favorite, James.
Everybody.
But I really like, even though it's James, I really like the cinematography and the music here. It makes me want to get a motorcycle.
Yeah, I actually think this was some of his finest acting so far, because he sits completely still on his motorcycle, can't do anything about his body language or anything for about half a minute or so, and he doesn't even move a face muscle, so, and he even keeps the shades on to hide those fleeting puppy eyes, so yeah, it's a pretty good opening shot too, so.
It was definitely a setup for the episode. Don't expect too much from it. See James. It was a nice shot, a bit long. But yeah.
Yeah, it is quick drawn, as a lot of shots are.
Oh, well, it gives you time for the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking when I saw that. I'm like, at least we can still see these names rolling.
I was terrified that he was coming back to Twin Peaks already. You just left.
You didn't miss him?
Don't worry, he's still carrying on his shenanigans, just elsewhere.
Yep.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Garland has disappeared, and his wife is at the police station. Yeah.
Her name is Betty Briggs.
Betty Briggs.
She doesn't seem too worried.
No, apparently he's done this before.
Yeah. Well, I'm missing the character, Major Briggs, because he's probably one of my favorites in the show, so I'm kind of hoping he'll be back, you know?
Yeah, me too.
It was almost bizarre how nonplussed she was that he disappeared. I mean, yeah, she says he disappears before, but does he often disappear into a light in the woods?
That's classified.
Yes.
Yeah, I like how she used that line. But she knows classified stuff. That means he's breaking,
Well, so it's not that classified.
Yeah, he's breaking his non-disclosure agreement and telling his wife things.
But why would she pique their interest by saying, just on the down low, guys, here's this piece of information, and then when they ask about it, she's like, no, that's classified, I can't answer for that. Like, why would she do that? I don't understand.
Exposition!
Precisely.
I love the fact that she says, the fact you were in the woods is very significant.
She's so wanna tell.
I feel like this episode is a lot of hand-holding. And that's the first one.
So we get a call for Dale Crooper from Gordon.
And it's one of the best. This episode has so many good scenes. Just like little gems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was glad to hear from Gordon. You guys still like Gordon?
I'm good with him.
Okay.
I do love the fact that I feel like, with everything else going on, I feel like this is David Lynch just letting everyone know. Yeah, I'm not too happy with this either, but
Pretty much. That's how I felt about it too.
We learn that an agent from the DEA is coming. Get to that a bit later.
Yeah.
And anything there before we move on to Coop, his little interview?
Oh, when they bring the wedding gift.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ascot and matching scarf.
That's so cute.
So that was a gift they meant to give before, but forgot to?
I think so.
Typical Harry style.
Yeah. So yeah, Coop's being interrogated a little bit. He seems to have no defense.
Yeah.
He doesn't think he broke the law. Did he?
Well, clearly he didn't break all the laws that they're putting on him.
No.
But he definitely did some shady stuff, I think.
Yeah. Did we ever learn if he let the FBI know that he was going over the border?
Well, you mean when he visited the casino, or because he got some bureau money? I think.
Yes, they had
10,000.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the second time not.
Yeah.
And he definitely sent reports in after the fact. I mean, come on.
That's why he's acting so giving up already. Sorry. So.
He's just trying to confuse them with all his philosophical talk.
Oh, that's his strategy.
Or make them think he's crazy.
I plead insanity.
No, I'll tell you what's crazy. What's crazy is that giant word processor.
Oh my god, yeah. It's such a thick screen. Oh my god.
I enjoyed how they put his badge and his gun on the desk, kind of to taunt him.
What?
It worked.
Can't have it. Poor guy.
I know.
You want to move on to Nadine and Donna? Can I date your ex, Donna?
Oh my god.
Do we like how this is going? Because I hated this whole thing the first time I watched it. I don't know about you two.
Come on.
You really like her, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
It's because there's absolutely no reason that this plot should exist at all. I grant that.
It's just there.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, okay, just the concept that they were like, okay, what are we gonna do with Nadine? We haven't really used her much. Hey, let's have her think she's a teenager. What do we do then? We're gonna put her back in high school. All right, and we're gonna have to chase the boys. Score, win, victory.
Well, I got a this feeling that the actress who plays Nadine have gotten to play, all out, all the time, all over the series, because she's always such an extreme character, no matter what she does. And I think she's just continuing this path
She's either extremely mean or extremely enthusiastic and childlike.
That's going to be the most fun part to play on this show.
People who are completely off the rocker.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nadine is chewing gum. It's everywhere now.
It's caught on.
Everyone always chewed gum on this show. We just didn't notice.
Oh my.
Do you guys think that Mike has cute buns?
He's got really tight jeans. Well, that's for sure.
His hair is too long for me to notice that.
His hair disturbs you, does it?
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of just his hair. A lot of people in this hair, there's many hairstyles, and some of them are good, and some of them just aren't.
You know, I really hate the way Donna's judging Nadine.
Well, she always judges, though.
She always does, but I just like, when will Donna look in a mirror? Everything she's done. The people she's killed inadvertently.
Oh, yes.
So what happens next?
Hideout Wally's.
Yep. James walks unsuspectingly, or suspectingly, into Wally's.
Why are we following James? It's called Twin Peaks.
I was kind of hoping for some more sweet-ass acting from him because it seems so promising in the beginning there. But here, he just walks in, does his best James Dean impression, which isn't very good, and then he walks over to the jukebox, which he gently fondles for some reason, and I'm kind of freaked out by this scene, so...
You wanted him to act more like a Terminator.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
So, we meet Evelyn. What did you guys think of her?
Maybe she's a vampire? She's the worst.
She has the grossest teeth.
Really?
Yeah, they're like really yellow and like kind of... One looks like it's like, I don't know, it looks like it's pointing backwards. And she just looks like she doesn't brush her teeth. And every time she opens her mouth to speak, I just want to like...
It's the smoking, I'm sure.
It's the smoking. It grosses me right out.
Yeah. James gets some underage drinking on.
Unless he's just failed a lot of grades in high school.
Oh, that...
Which is
sounds quite probable.
Yeah.
Don't want to rule out that possibility.
No. Then he does the emo thing on the jukebox, like Jonas said. Yeah, I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Did you guys notice that Evelyn has kind of like a weird delivery of her lines?
The weirdest.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just got a weird way of like, I don't know if it's the timing or what. I don't know. There's something.
What do you think's going to happen with him?
I'm thinking trouble is brewing.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to find out what type of man her husband Jeffrey will be. But it seems like she's kind of pulling him in and sort of baiting him a little bit into trouble. But we'll see if James stays true or not.
Stays true to Donna.
Yeah, or just out of trouble in general.
I'm expecting generic trouble.
Yeah, like I said, I really don't want to talk about him anymore. Let's move on.
Oh, Matt, let's please.
Yes, let's move on.
What do we got next, Brad?
We have all of my dreams coming true. We have Dick Tremaine and a miscreant wayward youth. Thank you.
Andy's pretty good in this scene, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do have one complaint right off the bat. Why didn't we get to watch the ridiculously wacky clothing montage?
You mean where he dresses him?
Yes, because he just said I just bought him a new outfit from the department store.
Yeah.
We should have had a musical montage going on. He comes out in little outfits, and he's like, I don't know about this.
But from little Nicky's behavior so far, I suspect that wasn't as much fun as Dick may lead us to believe.
I like how Andy invites himself on a triple date with them.
That kid's such a little shit, though.
Oh, yeah. The worst.
I want to rewind a little bit. I like how Andy was like sucking up to Lucy by putting flowers on her desk for her. I just enjoyed that he just put that little card in the flowers. He's sneakily trying to win her.
There's some subtle subterfuge going on.
Oh, yeah.
With Andy that I was never expecting possible.
I think their expressions are great here in this scene when they're just looking at it. He like invites himself along for the malt and he's smiling at the kid. The kid smiles back. He looks up to Dick. Dick is not impressed. And he loses his happy expression for a second. He looks back down at the kid and smiles again.
Yeah.
Great, idiot.
It's such an awkward situation there.
Yeah.
How great is it that Dick Tremaine's like, oh, Lucy's not here? Fuck you, kid. No malts for you.
He's not.
That's amazing.
Let's move on to one of my favorite scenes. They're all in Harry's office, and Coop is confident that the giant will not steer him wrong. But they start talking about the White Lodge.
Well, I kind of liked Hawk's explanation where, what is the Cooper? You may be fearless in this world, but there are other worlds. He's cryptic as always, but yeah, he kind of explains it a bit more. So
yeah, so the White Lodge is apparently a place where spirits go.
Yeah,
but there's
Kinda
also
like purgatory.
No, I would say the Black Lodge is described more like purgatory because spirits have to go through there first and face their shadow self.
That's right.
Shadow battles.
It doesn't sound like a bad thing to me, though. It's just like a gateway, sort of.
But if you're not courageous enough, it'll utterly destroy your soul.
Oh yeah.
But if you are, then you're fine. So it's not really purgatory.
So let's get Harry in there and see what happens. When Cooper first mentions it, Hawk seems like really pissed off at him.
What do you know?
It's like, whoa. This is serious stuff, Cooper. Not your ridiculous magics.
Well, yeah.
We're talking about White Lodge and Black Lodge now.
Well, Hawk seems kind of offended there, doesn't he?
He seems what?
Kind of offended by Cooper's question. I don't know.
Were you guys surprised that they knew about the White Lodge and the Black Lodge?
Who?
Those guys. They knew about it, besides...
natives?
Yeah, well, no, just both of them, Harry and Hawk knew about
Harry didn't know, did he?
I thought he
Yeah, he did.
He acted like he did.
He pretended to know.
Yeah, he said something about local myths or something like that, or...
Right.
Didn't he? Yeah.
So were you guys surprised that they knew about that, or did it not really surprise you?
They got a secret society, so
yeah, I guess
something's got to be up with that.
They're suspicious of the woods and all that weirdness.
Hawk knows everything.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised Hawk knew, but his people have a history there. So then one of my favorite characters, Denise Bryson, enters.
Aww.
Immediate reactions?
I was not expecting it at all.
No.
Was it a pleasant surprise?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what I reacted to here was that Hawk refused to shake Bryson's hand.
It's not being
what up with that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
at first I thought, Hawk was kind of like jilting Denise Dennis, but then he made a comment after, that's a good color for her. So I'm like, okay, he probably just doesn't shake anybody's hand, actually.
I think he was just taken aback at first, and then he recovered.
Yeah, Harry's the one who had an issue. They're in for a surprise at the Great Northern. Oh, yeah.
I love how Cooper immediately accepts the situation.
Yeah.
Immediately, without question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He's even delighted by it because it's someone else, finding their true selves.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think of David Duchovny in drag?
I didn't recognize him.
No.
Seriously.
Really?
Not the first time I watched it, and not this time. When I knew I was expecting him, and I was kind of looking for this, facial expressions and everything, but I couldn't see it was him. So yeah.
So I can't tell if he's supposed to be. It's kind of ambiguous as whether he just likes to dress in women's clothes or if he likes men as well. They don't really come out with it.
This was kind of before X-Files, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was like the year before, I think.
Oh yeah.
I just have to say, I love the scene. I love Denise Bryson.
Me too.
I just love it.
Such a great character.
Every time he comes on the screen, I get very excited.
Do they refer to the character as a she?
No, it's him. They always say him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
He said that's a good color for him. I wrote it down.
Well, I mean, what does Denise identify as? I want to use the right terminology.
I would assume probably she.
Okay.
If you're gonna go by Denise.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's a little bright spot in this series of episodes coming up for me. Like, there's some bad stuff, but the character of Denise is one of my favorite things in the series.
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying her so far.
Yeah, it's just another kooky federal agent. They're everywhere. I wish it was like real life was like this.
Well, maybe it is.
Move on to the next scene.
At the gym, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, Nadine's working her charms, as it were.
Well, yeah. She's provoking Mike's manliness by outlifting him.
Just a little bit ridiculous. I don't care how much adrenaline you have running through you.
No.
Her muscles would have burst.
This is Twin Peaks, though, so...
Yeah. Do you think she's gonna get Mike in the end?
Nope. She'll probably, like, end up crushing him to death or something.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I just love the abject terror on Mike's face. Because how do you really deal with this situation?
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
You run away from it.
She can outrun you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Beep beep. Somebody's burritos are done. What was that?
That was my cell phone is charging, so it has some issues.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, I wanted it to be burritos so bad. Hey, they must have been told they were being racist, by the way, because first they have like
Roger.
Roger Hardy showing up, and now they have this like black coach guy showing up.
Well,
Yeah.
It's just all of a sudden it's just like a bunch of black people.
yeah.
Am I being racist by noticing this?
I don't think so. It's just an observation, but it's
Yeah.
a true observation. There weren't many.
There was no black
There
people.
was. Well, I guess it was kind of diverse before.
There
I
was
mean, we
a-
had the very first shot of the show was Josie.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So, Nadine, have you ever thought about being on the wrestling team? Really?
I didn't think there was co-ed wrestling teams.
Not in the 90s. And especially not with a 35-year-old woman.
Yeah. I don't think this is the way you're supposed to treat, a psychotic,
Just encouraging her.
psychological problem this way is by encouraging it. And
But you have to realize the only expert in town is Dr. Jacoby.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
Good sign.
he listens to coconuts.
This might be a good outlet for Nadine. Get rid of all the extra adrenaline. Maybe she'll, simmer down a little bit.
Yeah, break some people. So then the next scene probably made Caitlin happy.
Hold on, where are my notes?
Sarcastically. of course.
Sarcastic.
No, I figured that out. Okay. Yes. Well, it was okay. They didn't do much, so I was fine with that.
Harry is just always all over her.
Yeah, he just always wants to get sexy with her, and she's like half dead. He's just like, do it.
I was really glad it was limited to cuddling.
Yeah.
But I'm also glad that he's like giving her an ultimatum: truth or hit the streets.
Doesn't it look like Harry's wearing some kind of jumpsuit or something? Because it's grayish uniform. I don't know. Just the exact same shade of gray, brown, sort of.
He likes his earth tones.
Oh yeah, he does.
Except for when he wore that red union suit.
Yeah, in the last episode.
Yeah.
So we get Josie's whole backstory, if we believe her.
Do you guys think that she told the truth, or?
It's as standard, generic story as I would expect, so... I'll... Sure.
This Eckhart
So
character.
drab and dreary.
Some of these backstories... Boy.
Yeah, that was much simpler than I liked. I thought it would be some complicated mess, but sadly it wasn't.
It's, it's like they built up... Well, they tried to kind of build up that there was some sort of a mystery with Josie's past. And then it's like they got to this point where, oh yeah, we need to start moving on. I guess we have to reveal all that happened. Let's get that over with. Done.
Hank and Ernie get back from hunting.
No one steal my quotes.
We won't. I know which you're using.
So good.
Did you guys notice like how blingy Ernie's rings are? He's got like huge like diamond encrusted rings on his fingers.
There's a big crucifix too necklace.
Yeah, he's living it up.
Norma's really bitter towards him.
Well, she doesn't know him, and he's an extension of her mother, who she currently hates. He has no reason to be there anymore. I don't know if he's gonna stick around.
Well, he didn't know he had no reason to be there
No,
because he left because she his wife left.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but
So-
he didn't know.
I know, but he just realized right now, so logically he should leave.
But he's got to move all those drugs and make that money thing happen.
That's right.
That really specific money thing that he's gonna do.
Yeah.
So the camera moves over and we get our triple date.
Oh yeah, the demon child. He's such a mean kid. I mean, seriously.
It's kind of weird. He doesn't look like he wants to be mean, but he's like, I can't help being evil. I am what I am.
Is anybody going to comment on the fact that his name is Little Nicky too?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think most people have forgotten that movie.
With good reason.
Well, I mean, he's got such a blank face, and suddenly he's just doing something, you know?
Yeah,
just totally unexpected.
Yeah, just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I did it again. I'm sorry.
Well, at the same time, I think this kid's bright enough to realize that Dick Tremaine is manipulating, is using him for manipulation.
Yeah.
And Andy's not that bright.
Why pick on Andy? Andy's nice to you.
Yeah. But I mean, I think I can see him resenting the whole situation.
Yeah. Although I don't see how Andy could have flown off that chair just by a little kid swinging it around.
Although, I enjoyed that fall so much.
Yeah.
Andy has no muscle strength.
It's just like a big rubber band.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, let me back up to the very beginning in the diner scene.
Mm-hmm.
We see the FBI agent reading the newspaper, and it says something about Leland.
He's laid to rest.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, is that what it
Yeah.
says? I thought the sound was just now finding out about Leland being the murderer.
Oh, no.
I wonder if Roger Hardy heard about the pie from Dale.
Most
or if
likely.
He just, yeah.
I have no defense, but if you're looking for a good piece of pie...
Yeah, we don't really get much about the town's reaction to Leland.
No.
In those 3 days we skipped. But,
you think they know, or
yeah,
just a real dumb question, maybe? But
well, it doesn't. Yeah, there's no definitive statement that everyone knows, but I don't know.
Well, at the same time, they've kind of been grieving over the whole Laura Palmer thing for so long. This is probably one of those things that, now we know, and it's kind of all wrapped up. Let's not talk about it, because it's a little icky. The only person I kind of think we're missing out on seeing a reaction from is Bobby.
Yeah.
Because he was so close to all that. I feel like it would have been nice to get something out of him.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't at the wake, was he?
No, I didn't see him there.
no, it wasn't.
He was too busy.
Scheming.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we get some more James.
I hate this scene and I love it at the same time. Because it's so bad.
Yeah.
So we find out that her husband loves cars and he travels extensively. And that he loves unique, expensive things.
He likes to own things. What I took away from that scene is that sometimes James rides with no headlights on his suicycle.
Suicycle.
Nice.
Is that a death wish, or...?
Seems like it.
And here's another thing, James. Your bike can't take you to a feeling.
Oh, yeah.
That's a science fact.
Well, you can try.
The crash that results from driving with no headlights can make him feel a feeling. So, yeah, he gets room and board and anything else he thinks is fair.
Well, isn't that really weird? That whole reaction. Well, you can stay here for as long as you need to. Just fix up my car.
Dear Penthouse Forums, I never thought this would happen to me.
So, next scene. Let's get away from James again.
This is one of my favorites.
Oh, is it? Okay.
We have the awesome, the archival footage of the breaking ground on the Great Northern. And then we have Ben reciting some Richard III.
And he looks like shit.
He does.
He's going through a time.
I didn't know quite why he was feeling so sentimental. Is it because he's maybe, I don't know, his life is in ruins and he's just looking back to better days?
I think that's pretty much it, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know, I kind of enjoyed it. I like seeing Ben like this. In fact, comparing him to Jean Reno makes me just love Ben Horn. I just love him at this point, and I just hated him so much before.
Yeah.
He's a bit more human now.
Yeah.
After this failure and everything.
That's a good point.
Yeah, suits him.
I can't wait to see what happens with him from this point on. Because I feel like we've set him at his lowest now. And we're going to completely destroy him in this scene. We're even going to take away One-Eyed Jack's.
Yeah.
And now he can start scheming and plotting and being Richard III.
Well, what he actually starts doing is starts talking about feng shui without realizing it. But
far-reaching feng shui.
But yeah, we'll see what happens in upcoming episodes. But he's informed that he's he's out.
Well, Hank shows up.
Yeah, Hank shows up, tells him he's out. Doesn't work for him anymore. It just keeps getting worse. So he makes shadow puppets.
Love it.
You know, what the hell, Hank? What the hell? I hate you, Hank.
Did you have to do that? I mean...
I kind of like how Ben kind of laughs maniacally at the end of this scene, though.
Yeah. You feel like he's a little bit unstable right now?
I think he just doesn't have much more to lose.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, okay.
All he's got left is the hotel, I think.
Where's Jerry at this point?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I was thinking while I was watching this.
We need some Jerry.
Yeah, we need Jerry.
What comes next?
P10, Q4?
P10, Q4. Chess move. Audio tape.
Yeah,
Wyndham Earl.
Yeah.
Cooper has the tiniest chess set ever.
It's a travel-sized chess set.
It's smaller than a travel-sized chess set, I think.
Are you guys interested in Wyndham Earl?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're keeping him in the dark so far.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about how he can sacrifice the queen and how the king must die.
Yeah, that's a pretty blatant threat, I'd say.
Yeah. Well.
Any other notes there for anyone? Nope. Okay, let's move on to the Milford wedding. Mayor's making a scene. I don't know. I'm okay with this scene. It's a little bit of fun.
Do you guys object?
He's got such a creepy laughter, don't you think?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Give me the chills.
Yeah, so do you guys object to the wedding?
No.
Oh, it's okay.
It's all good fun.
Yeah.
You get to see the log lady a little bit more and her point of view on such things.
Do you think this lady is a gold digger?
You know what? Doesn't matter. I'm sure she has some affection for this guy, so it's okay if she marries Dougie.
You could feel it. You could sense the attraction.
I don't know. Everything, you can't really tell. It's just a lighthearted plot line, and it's okay.
Okay. So Coop gets a call from Denise. We want to meet in the bar, and apparently cocaine has been found in Coop's car. Denise explains her backstory.
Well, Coop seems accepting as usual, so
yep,
no big difference there.
When she's talking about her backstory, she said it started when she was working a case, and it was a dealer that would only sell to transvestites.
Yeah.
That is a very specific market.
That's a poor dealer. He doesn't get much business. But yeah, I like how Coop is very accepting of everything. He's got an open mind. Pete?
Yeah, wait.
What?
Oh, wait, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna...
What? Is it spoilery?
No.
Oh. Huh?
Never mind, you go ahead, I'll tell it after.
Oh, it comes up later?
No, it doesn't.
Well, just say it now.
I just wanted to say I just enjoyed that he caught the bouquet. I just thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
That is all.
I don't know why you're ashamed to bring up your point.
Just a very shameful person.
Now go back in your cage and you're not allowed to speak again.
It happens every time.
Oh God. Not again.
Gotta remember to cut it out each time. So yeah, Pete looks like he's not enjoying Dwayne's company. He looks like
he's super depressed. I mean,
yeah.
I think he's just crying.
Crying?
I can't tell if he's crying because of the wedding.
Oh.
Or if he's, I don't know.
Well, did you guys notice when they cut the wedding cake? I think it's just right before this. And they feed each other one a piece. And Andy's in the background, and he kind of opens his mouth for each piece. Right? It's like mimicking, right? Oh, yeah. It's such a weird...
It's practice for when he gets a piece.
Yeah.
He just mimes everybody he's...
Yeah, exactly.
I did not notice that.
Pete, I couldn't tell if he was gonna burst into either super duper rage or just really weepy tears. I couldn't tell.
He looks like he's going through some sort of drug withdrawal to me, but
that's definitely the worst place to be sitting at this wedding.
Yeah. So we get our one Audrey shot. That's all we get.
Dancing with Cooper.
Dancing with Coop. And Denise is dancing with an ecstatic Andy.
That was strange.
Oh, Andy's loving it though.
So do you think Andy's like fooled by Denise's exterior looks or what?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Fooled.
Yeah.
That was Andy.
Yeah, you think David Duchovny's looks good?
He makes an attractive woman, yeah. I think so.
He's got good lips. I think that's.
He's got the jello in his walk.
They make a point of showing his legs quite often too.
Yeah.
He's got nice legs. What are we give them for this?
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah.
How great is the log lady in this scene? She's overly excited about the wedding and the cake and everything.
Right.
Which is great.
I couldn't notice, but did she dress up the log or something, or?
Did she?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't see.
Was the log wearing a little outfit? What?
I couldn't see, so that's why.
It sounds familiar. That. She might have.
Brad, do you have the scene pulled up?
I'm trying to find. I don't see it though.
Bow tie or something?
That'd be hilarious.
You know what I did think about this episode, because we had the Richard III speech earlier. I realized that Margaret is like the crazy old queen in Richard III that goes around spouting prophecies and things.
Oh yeah.
And I never connected that to Log Lady before this episode.
That is a good description of her. But yeah, it is funny how happy she is, and usually she's so cold looking.
So we have Josie and Catherine now. I'm quite loving Catherine giving Josie her punishment.
Comeuppance.
Yes, her comeuppance.
She makes Josie into her slave.
Oh yeah.
But I think even though she's making her maid, she can also provide Josie a certain amount of protection as well. I think she'd do what she could to protect Josie.
You think she cares?
Maybe a little bit, but I don't know.
Well, the next scene where she's prepared to use her as a bait, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, throwing Andrew in does change things a little bit, but I think she still might protect her.
What really weirds me about this is the fact that Josie says, "You're in danger," directly, and Catherine's like, whatever.
Whatever, be my slave.
Catherine lives for danger.
That's right.
So she's not taking that threat seriously, I guess. Because she's got her brother Andrew to protect her, right?
Who's not dead?
No.
What?
Apparently not.
Not only is he alive, he's a lot older than I was expecting.
This is the third actor that was in RoboCop.
Yes!
RoboCop.
So Ray Wise was in it, this guy was in it, and Albert was in it in RoboCop. Ray Wise played a young punk. It was hilarious. At one point, RoboCop drags him out of a dance club by the hair.
Oh my god.
Oh, I would just like to point out that I love the fact that Catherine is taking the liberty to order breakfast in the morning.
Oh, it's a very detailed description there.
Yes.
Well, I don't have much faith in Josie's cooking skills, so I probably would have laid out everything for her as well.
Yeah, she uses mayonnaise that's been left out for all night. So
Catherine is in danger.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't trust her to make my breakfast. She might poison it. It ends on the home video of Ben.
Yeah,
the credits
are different.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch.
Not sure why they chose to do that, but oh well, it's different. It is kind of strange that it usually still ends on Laura Palmer's picture when she's not, that relevant anymore, it seems.
Yeah, we're kind of cutting her out of the show, sort of, more or less. So
maybe it's another one of those touches we miss how things started, so we're going to show when there was still mystery and we didn't solve the Laura Palmer case.
Yeah.
So let's look at this old nostalgic footage of how things used to be.
Yeah, remember that?
Could be.
All right. Ratings. What's everyone's ratings?
I'll give it 7.5 loosened ties because it's a really good episode with some great scenes, but they were kind of cut off in the middle by some ridiculous subplots. So that's why I'm kind of annoyed, because I want these of my favorite scenes to go on a bit more. So yeah. For example, that whole Josie thing is going a bit too far. I think that mystery kind of died a while ago for me. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 8 Jaguars in the ditch out of 10. Yeah, I thought it was just really pleasant to watch. It was nice actually having a lot more comedy than melodrama and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just enjoyed watching it.
Okay, so you're a fan of the more lighthearted tone it's taken?
Well, not necessarily. Like, I really like the sort of like the dark tones of the show, but it's good once in a while just to sort of see like the other side.
You want a little break for a little bit?
Yeah.
How long do you want this break to go on?
This episode only.
Yeah.
You may be disappointed. I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10 floppy handshakes. That's a reference to the Denise handshake.
Terrible.
I'm sorry, it's not a good handshake. I don't know what it was exactly.
It wasn't a handshake, it was sort of a...
It was a dainty...
It was sort of a floppy fish lay my hand in your hand thing. But I don't know what you call that.
It's just like a curtsy kind of handshake.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's why Hawk didn't shake.
Too ladylike for him.
But
I don't know what you're doing there.
Yeah, I really like the character of Denise that's introduced. Evelyn is the bane of my existence, so it loses a point for her. Yeah, besides, like, it's just weird because there's really good parts and there's really bad parts. So I'm just gonna give it a 7, and I hope that the bad parts do not start outweighing the good parts. Your turn, Mel.
I am going to give it an 8.5 dwellers on the threshold out of 10.
All right.
Nice.
And the 0.5, I would have given it an 8, but I really like Denise, and I like that they put Gordon Cole in this episode.
Yeah.
They're like two of my favorite characters. So yeah, I agree with everybody.
I like all the federal agents.
Yeah.
Well, except Roger, he's a stick in the mud, but
he is. Although he still likes his pie, which makes him kind of delightful.
Still a pie fan, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I will go with 7.5 giant word processors. Yeah, overall, I mean, there was some fun, wacky stuff. There was a lot of James, which was, I don't know, it kind of balanced out because how ridiculous it was compared to how awful it was. So it almost came out even with James for me on this episode. But yeah, but overall, yeah, it was good. But
you got your Andy Dick scenes.
Oh, they were so great.
Anybody got a quote or two? You want to go first, Mel? You've probably got tons.
I kind of want to do an impression of James.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, riding at night, I punch off the headlights and roll on the throttle, and I just rocket blind to the dark.
Shut up! Shut up!
James.
I too got a James quote, but I'm not as good as an impersonator as you, so... Well, I'm only quiet on the outside.
Yeah, he's a raging torrent of emotion on the inside.
He tries so hard. I mean...
Oh, I've got one here. This is Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy, what's with a long face? Vivian's gone back to Seattle. Better for you, buckaroo. Best lines ever.
Here's one from Agent Cooper / Gordon Cole. Who are they sending? It's Gordon! Gordon Cole!
If only.
Dale Cooper.
Dale Cooper.
I can't believe he's getting married again. Dougie's weddings are a seasonal thing, like the return of the salmon. And then later, marry in haste, repent in leisure.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one from Denise. It's a pleasure to meet you, Sheriff.
I kind of liked how, like, when Harry did that comment about how the people of the Great Northern would be so in for a surprise too. Yeah. I just like how he kind of shot him a dirty look, Denise did, and then like just kind of threw that in later, just as kind of like a vengeful.
Yeah.
That'll freak you out good.
Does anyone have that one written down from Dick that's really really bad?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay.
Uncle Andy went funny boom boom, didn't he?
So horrible.
I had the catch anything? Oh, I hope not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I've got another one. Men are always right. Right up until they pull the trigger. And then we watch the neighbors solemnly march out to the news cameras to tell us he was such a nice, quiet guy.
That's the line that weirded me right out. I was like, what are you talking about, you weirdo?
What?
So, new in the Facebook group, Frank Kronog posted his song that he recorded with Kimmy Robertson. He posted a link to iTunes, so you can check out his song, give it a little preview before you buy if you want. Brad posted an animated GIF of the Donna.
I didn't see it.
It's called Donna Gimme the Corn.gif.
Can you click on it?
Okay.
Yes.
It's Donna rushing over and saving the plate of corn from the previous episode.
That's great.
What's that corn?
I think Adam made a good point how she's drawn inexplicably to corn ever since the Mrs. Tremond and Minnie Lynch incident.
Yes.
Yeah. So weird.
Claire posted some pictures of the White Lodge, the actual White Lodge near her home in England. Joe Royster posted a link to a SoundCloud link where someone did a remix of Sycamore Trees, which is one of my favorite songs from the series. I posted a link to an episode of This Podcast Contains Spoilers.
Which
Evan,
you should not listen to, guys.
Do not listen to it if you've never seen all of Twin Peaks or played Alan Wake. It's an episode about Alan Wake that I guested on. It's Evan Killam's podcast, who was a guest not long ago. That's probably enough for now. We have our new question. I don't know if you guys thought about it or not. Who do you think shot Cooper? Do you have theories yet?
It's Evelyn Marsh's husband.
I like it.
Okay.
Horatio Marsh.
You got any thoughts, Caitlin?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't even know if it's significant at all anymore.
Yeah, there's not really any clues towards the person. Like, you can't derive any information from anything you're seeing, really.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just take out that question.
Maybe we should find a different question.
No, there isn't any other big mysteries that are left unsolved right now. Okay, so let's get to some feedback. Here's one from Andrew Fry. I solicited some feedback, so I asked people to send some. And this is what Andrew Fry sent. Who wants to read it?
Podcast is still good.
Thanks, Andrew.
That's nice.
Straight to the point.
I love comments like that.
I like to imagine it like in Frankenstein voice. Podcast still good.
Podcast still good, but fire bad. Okay, this one's from Michael Warren, author of the 35 Years of David Lynch blog and former guest host. Now we approach the David Lynch no man's land. With Laura Palmer's murderer discovered, David Lynch's interest in Twin Peaks' story seemed to slip, and his attention became occupied with other things. Unfortunately, there is a noticeable slide in quality as Twin Peaks descends a little too far across the balance beam into total comedy, disturbing the show's delicate equilibrium with its drama and horror elements too. David Lynch does return to the series, though, and in time to bring back a familiar wind of mystery, drama, and horror with him to reestablish Twin Peaks' verisimilitude and rebalance the out-of-control quirkiness dominating the next batch of episodes. Unfortunately, this temporary slide in quality mixed with the series being rescheduled to a new time slot and preempted by news coverage of the Gulf War would spell disaster for the series. But even with these many obstacles working against it, Mark Frost and David Lynch's efforts to improve the show really did pay off, and Twin Peaks was going to be renewed for a third season. But Mark Frost recently explained in an interview that the network decided to cancel the show last minute anyways, making millions of reinvigorated fans frustrated. And to answer your question last week, I will share an excerpt from my article on the series finale. No spoilers. Quote, and in probably the worst turn of events of the whole series, Agent Cooper and Audrey Horne's sweetly and slowly building romantic relationship goes absolutely nowhere. We are reticent to spread rumors about why this happened, but since this one story thread was among the most enjoyable of the entire series, we would be remiss if we did not cover the apparent reason for it being abandoned. Kyle MacLachlan told the show's writers that he did not believe his character, Agent Cooper, would pursue a romantic relationship with a high school-aged girl. You would think this might be an objection MacLachlan would have mentioned at the beginning of the series, when Cooper unabashedly flirted with a young woman who was clearly the age of consent. Cooper is really not that much older than Audrey, making this a weak objection at best, so clearly something else seemed to prompt MacLachlan's objection. Again, this site takes no responsibility for the accuracy of this rumor, but we have heard speculation that he's very editorial and
I love it.
And professional.
I love it.
But we have heard speculation that Kyle MacLachlan in real life was dating co-star Lara Flynn Boyle, who played Donna Hayward in the show, Boyle was apparently jealous of Sherilyn Fenn's on-screen chemistry with McLaughlin and wanted to prevent her boyfriend from pursuing a series of romantic scenes with Fenn, who plays Audrey Horne. Whether this is true or not, we do not know, but given the facts presented in the retrospective documentary in the Gold Box DVD set, this seems to be the most likely explanation, end quote. End of excerpt. I can't say that word. Excerpt from his blog. Back to his regular...
Yours is not even my native language.
Matt. I know speak 'em English. Everything I learned about English, I learned phonetically. I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
There you go.
In that recent interview with Mark Frost I mentioned earlier, when asked about the dead-end Cooper-Audrey romance, he recounts the exact same story, but with the names removed to protect the guilty. This is supremely frustrating for all Twin Peaks fans, since many of the show's random developments in the future episodes could have been avoided if we'd been able to follow what would have been one of the best, sweetest, and most chemistry-endowed romances of primetime television. Instead, the audience was cheated of the Cooper and Audrey pairing we all want, nay demand. Claire is also correct that a rift apparently formed between Lara Flynn Boyle and Sherilyn Fenn, when Fenn was treated like the star of Twin Peaks by much of the news media, as evidenced by Fenn's central placement in this Rolling Stone cover shoot that I attached to this email. Yeah,
you can Google it.
Google Rolling Stone Twin Peaks cover. But Boyle did seem to grow jealous of Fenn not only professionally but also personally, apparently fearing Fenn's greater star power and obvious chemistry with Kyle MacLachlan would spell doom to his and Boyle's relationship. In a bizarre moment of life imitating art, Lara Flynn Boyle was jealous and clung too desperately hard onto MacLachlan, just as Donna did when confronted with Maddie and James. To quote Kyle MacLachlan's character Jeffrey Beaumont in David Lynch's Blue Velvet, it's a strange world.
Can we just agree that Lara Flynn Boyle just deserves to be shot in the face? Let's go back in time and erase Lara Flynn Boyle from history.
Okay. You tell us how and we'll do it.
I'm on it.
Okay. And we have one other piece of feedback, our usual email from Claire.
Alright, we got an email from Claire here. Oh, Twin Peaks, so many awesome things could have come round the bend in the opening shot. A conga line, a singing Muppets, a shuffling zombie horde. Heck, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man would have been preferable to James frackin' Hurley. Of all the plot threads to pop up after Laura's murder is revealed, these scenes are probably my least favorite. As the show is called Twin Peaks, I can't understand why they would follow a character out of town.
Exactly.
Can't I? On the plus side, the credits inform us that this episode will also contain Dick, so I can't complain too much. Love you, Dick. Betty and Major Briggs seem like such a perfect couple. She has such love and respect for him, despite her obvious concern at his disappearance. Andy and Hawk went shopping for plaid together. Aw, I hope they picked Leo up a new blanket. Maybe they also picked up that horrific plaid shirt that Donna wears to the school later. It's weird to see Coop wearing a blue shirt instead of the usual white. He's still wearing that little round pin, though. I wish I knew what that was. We get another instance of a character seeming to acknowledge the audience again when Coop looks at the camera and says, "Time to face the music." I'm not sure what the intention was behind that shot, though. I feel like that definitely plays into the whole David Lynch calling in to let everyone know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is what you wanted.
Yeah. James, that woman is old enough to be your mother. Plus, she has half the world's hairspray in her hair. If you get her anywhere near your bike or guitar and amplifier, one stray spark could mean the end of her. Then you really could whine that death follows you around. The song that James plays on the jukebox is "I'm Hurt Bad," the same song that Bobby played in the pilot. Oh, which reminds me of something. I'm sorry, I'm going to take a slight detour.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't mention this. When James says, you mind if I play the box first? Really? Really?
That's what she said.
Sorry. Back to the email. Dick! And he has a small boy with him. I love that he calls Andy Andrew. But why does he refer to his random child as Little Nicky? Is he an Adam Sandler fan? Little Nicky does seem to be the Antichrist so far. Cooper really does talk a ton of gibberish in this episode. More than usual, anyway. Hawk seems knowledgeable about the White Lodge. Thanks, exposition guy. And then we get David Duchovny in a dress, and he looks good. Dennis/Denise is another in a long line of awesome law agents in this show, whom I adore. I love that Coop just takes it all in his stride. I hope Matt manages to cope with the fact that this is a pretty Nadine-heavy episode. Think happy thoughts, Matt, and try to focus on Gordon Cole instead.
I'm trying.
And Denise.
And Denise. Aw.
Aw, Denise.
Aw. Transvestites.
The newspaper headline, Leland Palmer laid to rest, was a nice touch, as we know that he runs the newspaper. Was Dougie undercover at Leland's funeral to report on it? Little Ben and Jerry are back. The music that plays while Ben is watching the old cinefilm is lovely. I think it's called the Nostalgia Mix. Those kids are so well cast in those roles. Agreed.
They all grew into their teeth, though. Ben and Jerry, they grew into their teeth.
Wyndham Earle is apparently getting on the tape exchange that we mentioned a few episodes back.
The sexy tape exchange.
Oh, yeah. We finally get to hear Earl's voice. What are your thoughts about him so far?
I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued, but I don't know. I want more information.
Did you think
He's a promising character.
Yeah.
Did you think the voice matched what you expected him to sound like?
I don't know. I don't really have an image in mind yet.
I didn't have any expectations for his voice, but now now that I'm forming like a picture of him in my head from what he said and stuff, now I sort of have expectations of like what he'll be like in person.
Let's make a prediction on what he's going to look like.
Okay, body type. He's going to be kind of medium height, brown hair.
Older man, younger man.
He's going to be older than Cooper. Definitely, for sure, because he kind of seems to sort of like he sort of has like authority over or just being older in that way over Cooper.
Any thoughts, Brad, on what Wyndham Earle's going to be like?
I like this FBI profiling, by the way.
I totally random guesses.
Yeah, I got nothing. Jerry Orbach.
Well, I think his voice is sufficiently creepy. So, all right, let's go move on.
Cooper speaks to Diane again in this episode. It feels like forever since we saw him do that. How long has it been?
Quite a while.
It's been a while.
Not some time. Andy is one energetic dancer. He is tanking that woman around on the dance floor at the Milford wedding.
Does she mean Denise?
I think so.
The fact that Andrew Packard is still alive really doesn't pack the punch of the other episode's closing scenes. It's great to have Catherine back to her scheming best, though, particularly now that she has ditched the Tajimura disguise. So not an amazing episode, but it had some nice moments still. I awarded 7 crazy Ben Horn nostalgia trips out of 10. Until next time, smoke me a kipper and I'll be back for breakfast. And if you get that reference, you have my eternal respect and devotion.
I don't know.
Anyone?
No idea.
How about you Google it?
I already Googled it. It's from Red Dwarf.
What's that?
It's a sci-fi comedy British show. They played it here before.
It's actually quite funny if you watch it. You should. Just a few episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for coming on with us, Jonas.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
You did very well for your first podcasting experience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so there's nothing you want to plug, huh?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I'm just going to give props to you then.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so let's plug our other podcasts, Brad.
Yeah, you guys can catch me on the Ramjack podcast. We have a lot of fun shenanigans, and sometimes we talk about Mr. Belvedere.
And Mel and I are on with Claire Laffar, who sends us an email every week. We're on the Carnicast, which is like this one, except it's about Carnival. And our guest host on the next episode is going to be Brad.
Yay!
So if you like listening to Brad...
I don't.
And no one does.
Oh, people love your reactionary sass. Remember?
Reactionary sass, yes.
I couldn't tell. Did you take that as an insult when you read that or no?
No, that's like the best critique I've ever had.
You should take that message and frame it.
Alright, so we'll see you all next time on episode 20. So, bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on twitter.com/TwinPeaksCast. Search for the Twin Peaks Podcast group on Facebook. And visit us on twinpeakspodcast.blogspot.com. Email your feedback to twinpeakspodcast@gmail.com.
Here's a tune for you guys. Okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.